You won't believe what happened the day I took my jet ski out on the ranch lake. It was supposed to be a simple, relaxing ride, just me, the water, and the sun. But things quickly spiraled out of control, all because of one person, the notorious HOA Karen. Yeah, you heard that right. The kind of neighbor who thinks they own the entire neighborhood and isn't afraid to make a scene. So here's the deal. Karen somehow got it into her head that my jet ski didn't belong on that lake. Before I knew it, she called the cops, claiming I was breaking some made-up rule. But that's not even the craziest part. Somehow, she managed to take my jet ski without asking, just took it right from the water like it was hers. I was left, standing there, stunned and frustrated, watching my jet ski being taken away. But I wasn't about to let that slide. You see, I'd been working on something special for a while, a way to control my jet ski remotely. Sounds wild, I know. But this tech came in clutch because I wasn't ready to lose my ride to Karen's ridiculous HOA drama. So while she thought she had the upper hand, I had a little surprise up my sleeve. What happened next was straight out of a movie. I've managed to remotely control the jet ski mid-ride, and well, let's just say it didn't end the way Karen expected. Sank it right there on the lake, and the look on her face was priceless. But the story doesn't end there. The cops were on their way, tensions were rising, and now the whole neighborhood is talking. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Stick around because this is far from over. Ever since I moved into this quiet neighborhood, I knew dealing with the HOA could get tricky. But nothing prepared me for Karen. She's that type of person who watches everyone's every move, ready to jump on any excuse to complain or cause trouble. From the moment I parked my jet ski by the ranch lake, she gave me the cold shoulder, like I didn't belong. I tried to keep things low-key, following every rule, or at least what I thought were the rules. But Karen made it clear she was watching. The ranch lake is supposed to be a spot where neighbors can unwind, fish, or enjoy water sports. I always thought it was fair game for jet skis and small boats, but apparently Karen saw it differently. She started sending me passive-aggressive notes, warning about unauthorized watercraft, even though the HOA never officially banned jet skis there. It felt like she was just looking for a way to control the space, and unfortunately, she found her chance. A few weeks ago, I started messing around with some remote control technology for my jet ski. Nothing too crazy, just a fun project to test some ideas. I never thought I'd actually have to use it for real. But when Karen suddenly took my jet ski from the water, it wasn't just about the ride anymore. It was about standing up for myself and showing that I wasn't going to back down. With the cops called and Karen still fuming, the whole neighborhood suddenly felt tense. People were whispering, watching from their porches, wondering what would happen next. Everyone seemed divided, some siding with Karen, others thinking I was just trying to protect what's mine. And honestly, it's left me wondering if this is just the start of a bigger fight. There's so much more behind what happened at that lake. And as the sun sets on this crazy day, one thing's clear. Nothing's going to be simple or quiet around here anytime soon. Things only got messier after the jet ski sank. Karen didn't back down. In fact, she doubled down on her claims, saying I was reckless and breaking HOA rules. She even started talking to other neighbors, painting me as the troublemaker. It felt like she wanted to turn the whole community against me. On the other side, some neighbors were quietly supportive, whispering that Karen had always been too controlling, and maybe it was time someone stood up to her. The HOA board got involved, sending out emails and holding emergency meetings about the incident at the ranch lake. Suddenly, what was supposed to be a peaceful place to unwind became this battleground for power and control. The rules around watercraft use were vague, and nobody seemed to agree on what was actually allowed. I dug through old HOA documents and found that there was no real ban on jet skis, but Karen insisted otherwise. It was like a personal vendetta rather than a legitimate complaint. Meanwhile, I started getting strange messages, anonymous notes slipped under my door, phone calls with silence on the other end, and even some of my property was vandalized. It was clear that the drama wasn't just about the jet ski anymore. Someone wanted to intimidate me into leaving or staying quiet. The cops showed up a few times to ask questions, but without clear evidence, there wasn't much they could do. Karen was determined to keep pushing, and I was determined not to let her win. Meanwhile, my remote control project became more than a fun gadget. It felt like my only way to protect my stuff in this neighborhood full of tension with every day. The conflict grew, and I kept wondering, how far will this go? Is it just about the jet ski, or something deeper brewing beneath the surface? The ranch lake, once a peaceful spot, now feels like the center of a storm that's just beginning. As the days passed, the tension around the ranch lake reached a breaking point. Karen was relentless. She showed up unannounced, pacing the shoreline, watching every move I made. It was like she was waiting for me to slip up. Meanwhile, neighbors started taking sides more openly. Some whispered about filing formal complaints, while others warned me to be careful. The quiet community I once knew felt divided and charged with quiet hostility. One afternoon, I decided to test my remote control setup again, just to be sure it would work if I needed it. As I fired up the jet ski from a distance, I caught Karen watching me, eyes narrowed and arms crossed like she was planning her next move. I could feel the weight of every gaze on me. And that's when I realized this wasn't just about rules or a jet ski anymore. It was personal. The HOA board called an emergency meeting, and rumors spread that Karen was pushing for a total ban on all motorized watercraft. If that happened, it wouldn't just affect MIT, would change the entire way people enjoyed the lake. I started getting texts from neighbors pleading for calm, but others were encouraging me to stand my ground. The community was at a crossroads, and it felt like everything could explode at any moment. That same evening, Karen confronted me near the lake, demanding I apologize and remove my jet ski permanently. I stood my ground, knowing I wasn't wrong, but the air between us was thick with anger. Just as the argument reached its peak, the distant sound of sirens filled the air. Someone had called the cops again. I knew things were about to get out of control. The remote control tech in my pocket buzzed softly, a reminder that I still had one card left to play. The question was, would I use it? Or would the conflict spiral beyond what anyone could handle? The night was far from over, and the ranch lake had become the stage for a showdown nobody would forget. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more intense, the unexpected happened. As the sirens grew louder and the cops pulled up near the lake, Karen suddenly turned on me with a wild accusation. She claimed I had been tampering with the jet ski's controls remotely to cause damage, not just to protect it, but to deliberately sink it. That caught me off guard. I hadn't expected her to twist the story like that in front of the officers. The cops started asking questions, looking at me suspiciously. Karen had brought her phone, showing some shaky footage she said was proof of my reckless behavior. The whole neighborhood seemed to be watching as the situation escalated faster than I could keep up with. It wasn't just about a jet ski or HOA rules anymore. It felt like a full-blown battle for control and reputation. But here's where it gets even crazier. Just as the officers were getting deeper into the investigation, a stranger appeared on the scene. This person claimed to have key information about the lake's real ownership and the hidden agreements the HOA board never disclosed. Suddenly, the entire foundation of Karen's authority and the supposed rules she was enforcing started to crumble. Neighbors gasped, some stepping forward to back up this new witness, while others looked around nervously, realizing there might be a lot more going on beneath the surface than anyone suspected. I could feel the tension spike even higher. This wasn't just about a jet ski or a fight with Karen anymore. This was about secrets, power, and who really controlled the ranch lake. With the cops caught between conflicting stories and the community divided more than ever, I realized one thing: this was far from over. Whatever happened next could change everything, and I had to be ready for whatever came my way. As the stranger laid out the truth about the lake's ownership, the whole scene shifted. It turned out that the HOA board had been hiding important documents agreements that proved the lake was actually public property, not privately controlled. By the HOA, Karen's claims and her rules suddenly lost all their weight. The cops stepped back, realizing the accusations against me didn't hold up under this new information. With the neighborhood watching, the tension started to ease. Karen's face went pale as it became clear she had been pushing a personal agenda, not enforcing any real laws. Some neighbors quietly apologized for doubting me, while others exchanged glances, wondering what else had been kept from them. The jet ski? It was mine all along, and the lake was a place for everyone, not just Karen and her allies. But just as I thought the battle was finally over, the unexpected happened. The stranger who revealed the ownership documents suddenly turned toward me, lowering their voice. "There's one more thing," they said, "something the HOA board doesn't want anyone to know." They handed me a small envelope, warning that inside were files that could expose even bigger secrets: financial corruption, hidden fees, and plans to sell parts of the community without residents' consent. Suddenly, what started as a fight over a jet ski on the ranch lake was now a full-blown scandal waiting to explode. Karen wasn't just a controlling neighbor, she was part of a much larger problem. The cops had left to review the new evidence, and the neighborhood was buzzing with a mix of relief and anxiety. As I stood there, holding that envelope, I knew this was just the beginning of something far bigger. The calm after the storm was only temporary. The real fight for the community's future was about to begin. After everything that happened, the neighborhood slowly started to come back together. The truth about the ranch lake being public property gave everyone a sense of relief. It wasn't just about my jet ski or Karen's stubbornness anymore. People realized that sometimes it takes standing up to one person to uncover bigger issues that affect the whole community. The HOA board had to answer for hiding those documents and for the corruption that was exposed afterward. Karen's influence faded as more neighbors spoke out. It wasn't easy, and some old tensions still lingered. But overall, the community began to heal. I fixed up my jet ski, ready to enjoy the lake again. But now, with a clearer understanding of what it means to fight for your rights and your neighbors. The whole experience taught me that sometimes standing your ground isn't just about winning one battle. It's about pushing for fairness and transparency in the long run. Looking back, I'm grateful I had that remote control tech on the jet ski. It gave me a way to protect what's mine, sure, but it also gave me confidence to face challenges I hadn't expected. The lake, once just a place for fun, became a symbol of something much bigger: community, respect, and standing up to unfair power. This story isn't just about a jet ski or an HOA dispute. It's a reminder that when people come together and speak up, they can change the story, even in the toughest situations. So if you ever find yourself facing a fight that feels bigger than you, remember this: don't back down. Keep pushing. Keep asking questions, and the truth will come out. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride. I'll keep sharing stories like this, and I hope they inspire you to stand up for what's right in your own neighborhood.